Hi, I'm Duncan Moss, and I'd like to welcome you to my latest video blog. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the three EPs that Ringo Starr released last year, 2022. Uh, I've been a Beatles fan all my life, as most people know, and I've a special admiration for Ringo because really he is the person who was not expected to do anything, but he, apart from probably session drumming, would have probably kept him off the street. But he has acted in several films and even got some critical praise, and he has had a cluster of hits in the 70s, the early 70s, that sold well all around the world. And his Ringo album, 1973, sold over 1 million copies in America. And the follow-up, Good Night Vienna, wasn't as successful, but still did well. And well, through the years, Ringo has never shown that he's frightened of tackling any musical genre with kamikaze enthusiasm sometimes. He has vocal range that is fairly limited, but is very solid, nevertheless. And he can do rock and roll with very, very competently. He's had a career lasting over 60 years, and people take the mickey out of him. If you're still rocking, you can have a career that lasts over 60 years. Then maybe you have the right to say something, but if not, you haven't. The first EP came out was Zoom In, and it's a super little EP. Why did he do EPs instead of albums, perhaps? I don't know, but I think going back to the 60s, where EPs were 7-inch EPs were very, very much the rage. What you could do, they were more expensive than a 7-inch single, but they tended to have a recap of say two previous singles by an artist with their respective B-sides, making up 4 tracks. And they would be just a little bit more expensive than a single, but it worked out. No, they weren't much more expensive, and it worked out better value for 4. You get 4 tracks for perhaps more value than you would a 7-inch single. And a lot of people who couldn't afford, were short of money, would buy these EPs. But sometimes a new EP would be brought out that wasn't a recap of previous singles. The Rolling Stones did one. I think it had five tracks on it. And the Beatles, of course, did the Long Tall Sally EP, which was 4 brand new tracks. And was very, very successful. So maybe Ringo's just going back a little bit into the past to do this, and maybe he's just more comfortable doing EPs. And I'm very happy to say the results are absolutely magnificent. The first track in Zoom In is called "Here's to the Nights." And it's a real anthem song, the ideal to be adopted by a football team. I think it's a lovely song. Has the lyrics like "Here's to falling on your face, then getting back in and winning the race." It's a real sing-along song, featuring backing vocals from people such as Paul McCartney, Lenny Kravitz, um, and Sheryl Crow, among others. The chorus is "Here's to the nights we won't remember, with the friends we won't forget. May we think of them forever as the days that were the best. May we make some noise together, make a beautiful mess, and say we did it all." It's very up tempo. It's a real sing along song. It's probably looking back to old friends that are no longer, some who are still living and some who aren't. But it's a lovely song and a super way to start the EP. Then got the title track, Zoom In, which talks about different perspectives and how you can see something differently, like a zoom lens on a camera. The lyrics say things like, "We're all connected, that distant star is reachable, till Galileo put on his thinking cap." And again, it's very, very optimistic. In fact, the optimism just goes right through the whole of the three EPs. We've then track 3, one called "Teach Me to Tango." This was written by Ringo with Sam Hollander and Grant Michaels. And it's a real tub-thumping rock and roll song with a very catchy chorus. You've got to live it up to get what you want, my friend. Very optimistic, very positive. Then number 4, the fourth track, we've got "Waiting for the Tide to Turn," which Ringo wrote with Bruce Sugar, who is the co-producer of these 3 works. A slower number with a reggae arrangement. Again, very optimistic. "Here's to the light at the end of the tunnel," lyrics say. "Waiting so long for the tide to turn. You have to change for the tide to turn." Again, a really, really nice reggae. So Ringo clearly feels very comfortable with the reggae, song. And then at number 5, we've got another strong sing-along song called "There's Not Enough Love in the World," with a lovely brass section. Again, a really, I think, a fantastic EP, produced by Ringo Starr and Bruce Sugar, and recorded as the other 2 were at Rockabella West Studios. And just a lovely, lovely album. Well, not an album, an EP. But we've then got the second EP, which is "Change the World." And this just has 4 tracks. And as I say, it continues the optimistic theme. I had to write notes because I've listened to these works several times over the last couple of months. I don't know whether it's because of the medication I'm on. My musical ear doesn't pick the songs up as quickly as it's used to. But given them I know the songs now really, really, really well. The first track on "Change the World" is called "Let's Change the World." And again, it says lyrics like, "There's more than enough love to go around. When trouble comes, I remember it's time for singing a tune. Fear will wash away like the rain washes over you." Just saying that we can all get involved with changing the world, and we've got to do it soon. Track 2, "Just That Way," is written. It's written by Ringo with Bruce Sugar. sometimes life's just uh, sometimes life's just I don't know. I can't read my lyrics. I can't read well, not my lyrics. I wrote down a lyric. No, I can't make sense of that at all. Oh well. I think it's sometimes life's just that just works out that way. It's a lovely song. Um, yeah, a really really nice song. Um, Again with that reggae feel to it. Um, uh, and the third track we've got is written by a lady called Linda Perry, who I think goes under the nickname sometimes Trombone Shorty. Um, it's a lovely country flavoured number, and Linda played a very large part in producing the song as well as writing it. And it's lovely. It's very boppy. The Ringo clearly loves singing it. What can you do when you're coming undone? I don't know. Start again, like me. I should have done. Talks about love conquering and overcoming a panic attack. Well, that's nice. That's a And then the track 4 is a blistering version of Rock Around the Clock, just to show everybody that Ringo hasn't forgot his rock and roll roots. Very competent and very, very well done. I'm sure Bill Haley would have, and the Comets would have approved of it. Then we've got the last of the 3 EPs. And this is called Worlds Go Round. And again, it's 4 tracks this time. And it's another fast-moving song with a lot of energy. We all make the world go round. You're not alone in this. Talks about life can be confusing. This is just your burden. We can share it all this time. We can try to rise above. It only takes a little love. And it's basically saying you don't really need to feel isolated. We can all work together to make the world a better place. Well, I think that's a great sentiment. It's been said before, but saying it again won't do any harm. We've then got another song by Linda Perry, and this is arranged and produced by her on her own, instead of Ringo and Bruce Sugar. It's a lovely song. It's more up-tone than Coming Undone. We can learn to be forgiven. Don't expect it back. Everything needs changing today. A lovely song. In fact, there isn't a week. There's 13 songs in this collect. If you put the 3 together, I'm not saying you should necessarily, but not a weak track amongst them. Third track, Let's Be Friends. Which is written by producer Bruce Sugar and Sam Hollander. Continues, it's very optimistic. Lyric says, tell yourself that we've got nothing in common. Hey brother, I disagree. And it's got a very, very catchy chorus. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's lovely. And then we've got the only really slow ballad in the collection, number 4, Free Your Soul, which Ringo wrote again with Bruce Sugar. Freeing Your Soul, Lost in Love, Under the Stars. It's a very, very lovely song about 2 lovers, starry-eyed. Another lyric says the rhythm's going to free our soul just like it did, just like it did long ago. Um, Let the music carry us away, and it's got some well-respected musicians, Josie Antonio Rodriguez and Dave Coates. Dave Coates plays saxophone, and Josie Antonio Rodriguez plays the guitar. Two very great, respected musicians making a guest appearance there amongst the regular musicians. And it's just lovely, a lovely way to end that EP. So all three EPs are well worth getting. If Ringo's now in his early 80s, his voice is as strong as ever. And he had to cut short his tour last year because of COVID amongst the musicians, and he got it himself. I hope he's well. He's I hope very proud of him if he can do music like this at this time of life. And the same with Paul. I'm very proud of him for the way he for his performance in Glastonbury. Great stuff. And I should be calling it's Sir Richard and Lady Starkey. His wife Barbara. She was always my favourite Bond girl, and Spider Love Me is my favourite Bond movie. And I just wish Ringo and Barbara every happiness for the future, whatever happens. I don't think when in 1962 when the Beatles had their first hit, we ever thought the two of them would be recording and working as hard as they are. But that's really great. Still bringing pleasure to thousands, maybe millions of music fans. And just to say, these records are well worth getting. And I wonder, maybe perhaps if they were released, the three EPs together in a pack, that would be nice. So we're not saying put them together as to make up an album, but put them in a 3-pack might be nice and easier to get hold of for collectors. But as I say, well worth getting, and terrific stuff. I can't praise them or Ringo high enough. God bless Ringo and Barbara. So signing off now. If you want to subscribe to my video channel and take like, that would be very, very much appreciated. God bless.